I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. Thursday, April 30th, news from Arkansas. Asa Hutchinson, the governor, met today with his task force of some 39 people that are going to talk about the private option and what form it should take in the future when, he says, we're going to end the private option version of the Medicaid expansion allowed by Obamacare. The governor seemed almost wistful, it seemed to me, saying that he hoped that whatever does happen will keep the 205,000 people who are on the program still insured. He thinks that the federal money is important, and there'd be some pain if that federal money didn't come along. Jim Hendren, who was a longtime Obamacare foe, said we might have some tough decisions and political realities might weigh in. Indeed, they might. It's hard to believe a situation where hospitals and the state budget and all the other victims that would line up if the program is ended could come to pass, but you never know. After all, the Republican majority in the legislature, the governor, and many others were elected on a promise to end Obamacare as we know it. So there's a big problem ahead. It really boils down to a matter of keeping the $1 billion or not keeping the $1 billion. And it's not only the loss of $1 billion if we don't go forward with something very much similar to the private option. The state is paying for prison programs with some $20 million in insurance premiums that have been reaped from all the new people on insurance. There are many other hidden costs that would come with ending this program. At the Capitol also today, an independent citizens commission went along with the state's prosecuting attorneys and gave them a 22% pay raise to $152,000 a year. They're going to be paid at 95% the rate of judges. This is what they wanted. There was some thought that perhaps they'd take a little bit of that back because of citizen blowback to some earlier pay raises, but no, they got the full amount. Dennis Milligan, the state treasurer, continues to make headlines. He's fired another person, his campaign treasurer. He's ordered that treasurer to turn all the campaign records back over. It's no wonder there's a growing list of questions about how Dennis Milligan spent that campaign money, whether it was sent in a surreptitious way to a person who now works for him so as to keep his political activities unknown to his previous nonprofit employer. He's put that person, Jason Brady, his deputy chief of staff, back to work, said he can't verify that these emails were actually written by Brady. Brady more or less has admitted he did write these emails that are in question, but he said he did it on his own time, inadvertently used a nonprofit phone number about it. Dennis Milligan is beginning to put off an odor that even a lot of Republicans are not happy about. In Hot Springs, the school district chose Mike Hernandez to be their next school superintendent beginning July the 1st. This is somewhat interesting on a statewide level because he's deputy commissioner of the state education department. It's his qualifications that allow Johnny Key to be the state education commissioner. Key is not otherwise authorized to hold the job because he lacks the experience in education, but a new state law said he could have the job as long as he has a deputy who is certified. Hernandez is. He's about to leave. The state says it will move expeditiously to find somebody else to replace him who is qualified so Johnny Key can remain education commissioner. Forbes put out a list of the most wealthy person in each of the 50 states. Waltons account for 3 states, Wyoming, Texas, and Arkansas. Surprise. Elsewhere, Mara Leverett is in Ashdown, still covering the Tim Howard murder retrial. He was a death row inmate who's got a new trial because evidence had been withheld in his first case by the prosecutor. It developed yesterday in court that still more evidence didn't reach the defense. It was developed in the course of the prosecution development of a new case. Didn't get the charge dismissed, but it raises still more questions about the conduct of the state in pursuing murder charges against Tim Howard. I wrote this morning that the county judge, Barry Hyde, is considering shortening the hours on the popular Big Dam Bridge west of Little Rock because of vandalism that's occurring late at night. People are throwing rocks off the bridge, throwing things at lock and dam employees. Even bigger problem is the problem created by inconsiderate dog owners. Dog poop has become a giant problem. It's a 3-day, twice-a-day cleanup for a county crew because people won't clean up after their dogs. This might end a ban on dogs. They'd already banned livestock after horses started walking across the bridge. Then they had to expand it to exotic animal because somebody took an emu up there. Who knows what's next? Human beings are strange forms of animals. And also in the bike pedestrian bridge and bike trail world, Mayor Mark Stola says he swears he still thinks there's a solution for closing that big gap on the river trail between roughly the Canfor Road Viaduct and the La Hart Railroad tracks that passes in front of the Dillard's headquarters and Episcopal Cathedral School. He's long wanted a grand plan for a bluffside trail behind Dillard's. Dillard's don't like it. Stevens don't want the trail to go around Episcopal Collegiate School, which they underwrote. It remains to be seen if the strong mayor can get this thing done. He says he can. We're leaving early today. I may be missing some news headlines. This is a great week for the Arkansas Times. Our cover story is on academic all-stars, 20 incredible high school seniors who are undoubtedly going to go on to great things, which makes me think that it's also my son's 30th birthday. He becomes an adult today, like it or not. I wish Arkansas held the kind of promise that New York has held for my son and my daughter, and that they could come home to, but for now we'll have to wish them a happy birthday up in the Big Apple. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.